Hello, everyone. Welcome in to another live stream. Hopefully, everyone had a good Monday. I took the day off. That wasn't necessarily my intention, but here we are. Let's take a look here and get started. All right, this is for Nisha. Nisha, I am getting a no, 8 of Swords. Lil Pets. It is a maybe at this time. It's still up in the air. I have a 2 of Pentacles. So I think it's still possible, but I don't have a clear answer at this time. Shar, I have a yes, Knight of Wands. This will probably happen quickly or suddenly, maybe unexpectedly to some. Amy, I have a yes, Ace of Cups. Pragati, I have a yes. 3 cards, Knight of Swords, the Sun, and the Star. Pragati, I'm almost getting like a message of don't let this person go. Like, seize the moment. Amy, yes, I've been feeling better for about a week. I haven't had a migraine or anything, so we're good on that front. You're welcome, Nisha. You're welcome, Shar. Hey, SB. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. If you'd like to be added to the free yes no, all you have to do is just post your question in the chat. You're welcome, everyone. Yes, Amy, it looks like it was a really good reaction. SB, I think, yes. I will say he's doing okay overall. I have the 4 of Wands. Daisha, I have a yes. King of Cups. Just a reminder for tonight, my donations are only open for an hour. I might be able to stretch it a little bit past that, but 2 nights ago I was on for over 6 hours, and while that was an amazing stream and I'm so grateful for it, I want to kind of pace myself a little bit better this week. So for tonight, if you plan on getting a reading or are thinking about it, just keep in mind that my donation list will close after an hour of this broadcast being live. I will post like a warning, or I guess like a last call, if you will, message. That way everyone can make sure they're getting their donations in just before I close it. Amy, did you ask him about his mom's reaction? CD lore. I am getting a no. I have the moon. However, the moon is that of mystery, illusion, things we keep secret. So I would say trust your intuition. It's a very intuitive card. As far as this card goes and your question, I feel like no. However, there could be something that's going on that's not that you might want to look into. Oh, I see. Amy, I got your donation. Like your additional one. Sienna, I am getting a no 5 of Pentacles. There's something here that I'm getting a no to. I don't know if it's like maybe Johnny wants a long-term relationship and maybe he doesn't want to get married. I'm not sure if he's completely against long-term partnership, period. But I am getting a no. Hi, Janet. Janet, I am getting a no. This could potentially change, but I think right now is a no. You're welcome, Sienna. CD, I'm not sure because that's not the question I asked, but the moon talks about the things that we hide or we keep secret or we keep deep down to ourselves. So I would say that maybe in that moment he wasn't hiding another woman. But it's possible that your intuition is on to something. So maybe there is something going on, maybe not specifically what you asked, but potentially just be very observant and kind of keep like your awareness on. It could be potentially another person that he's communicating with, or it could be nothing like that at all. It could be something else that he's afraid to tell you, or he's not ready to tell you, that has to do with him personally. It could just be that he's keeping something to himself that he hasn't had the chance or felt that he was ready to open up to you about. And it may not be related to a third party at all. It might just be something else. You're welcome. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I would say give him the benefit of the doubt, but it does seem like he might be a very private person and there might be something that, will come to light at some point. You're welcome. Um, yeah, CD, I'm really not sure. Again, that's not the question that I asked, so I can only go off of the card that I pulled. You're more than welcome to donate if you'd like, and we can see if there's any other information I can tap into for you. But if not, that's totally fine. I go live pretty often throughout the week, so you can always come back for another chance at a free reading. You're welcome. Ashley, I am getting a yes, the world. But the world does signify the end of a journey, which could indicate that while he still loves you, he might have plans to move on or move forward. So if you guys are in a relationship now, I would say he sees you there with him for the rest of his life. If you are not in a relationship, this would indicate that he might be trying to close this chapter. But I am getting a yes either way. You're welcome, Ashley. CD, I was actually talking to Ashley Vasquez. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started on the donation list. Free list is closed unless you are new to me tonight. I just want to check in really quickly because we had some pre-orders. So I want to make sure first before I move on to see who all is here on the donation list. So first out, Philomena, if you are here, please check in. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. All right. I didn't think Philomena was here, but I thought I would just reach out to her just in case she was here, just in the background. So we're gonna move on to the next person on our list, which is Amy. So Amy, if you're here, you know what to do. And SB, thank you for checking in. Hey J Moon, that sounds great. I will add you to the list, okay? J Moon, I got it. Thank you. I will add you to the list, okay? Remember, anybody that cannot hang out, you're more than welcome to skip the list. It's $5 to skip, and you get put to the top of the list behind anyone else who has paid to skip. And if no one's paid to skip, then you're next. All right, so let's see. Amy says, has Eli and his mom talked about me recently? So Amy, is this your one of your yes no questions that you're asking? Okay. Amy, I am getting a yes, but I don't feel like this was very in depth of a conversation at all. I think it might have been like a very surface level conversation, like, hey, have you talked to Amy lately, or have you seen her lately? Like, how's she doing? Oh, she's good. Cool, cool. Like, I just feel like it was more like you were a topic of conversation versus like a in-depth conversation, but you have been mentioned. You were brought up. Hi, May. Welcome in. How are you? All right, shuffling now for you. I do have a yes, Amy, 8 of Swords. No, sorry, 8 of Wands. Definitely meant 8 of Wands. Yeah, so there's been conversation there. Someone besides his mom. Amy, do you feel like, for instance, for every like 3 texts you send, he only sends 1, or for every like couple of sentences that you send, he like has very like short responses? Because I feel like that's a very good indication of someone who might not be available at that time to communicate. So if you feel like you're bothering him, a good rule of thumb is that maybe just dial it back a bit. Because at the same time, you also don't want to feel like a burden, even if you're not, even if you're being just who you are and he's enjoying it. If it's making you feel some type of way, like you're not getting the reciprocation you're looking for, I think it's important that maybe you do kind of dial it back a bit, you know? But let's take a look and see what he's been thinking. Yeah, Amy, so I feel like that's, good acknowledgement. The last thing you want to do though is to be like, "Hey, Eli, I don't mean to bother you, blah 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 blah," because if you're not bothering him, but then you put in his head that he should feel bothered, now you just put a thought into his head that he didn't even have in the first place. So I say the only thing I can think of is if you are feeling like it's a little dry and that you're communicating a lot more than what you're getting back, maybe just dial it back a little bit just so that you're not feeling some type of way. God's daughter, hey, welcome in. Our free list is closed for the night. Gotcha. Amy, that makes sense. You're welcome. I also feel like it's probably just more comfortable for him to either communicate with you over the phone or just in person. And that's just part of his personality, which is completely fine. If it were me personally, like I that would bother me. I don't think I could be in a relationship with someone who um wasn't a very good communicator, except for when I like see them. If the only way that that would be okay with me is if I was living with them. But I feel like, if you want to maintain a relationship with someone and you guys don't live together, you do have to be better at communicating. But, to each their own. That might be okay with you. It's just, it wouldn't be okay with me personally. I'm actually was very drawn to my partner because he was so enthusiastic and involved in conversation, and he responded to every single thing that I said, and he was consistent with his messaging. We texted like crazy, and it just never stopped, like until we moved in together. It was just always open communication. um but again, that's me. you know I'm a Gemini, so I need that constant mental stimulation, and I feel like if I'm not getting it, I get bored. So yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I feel like that's, at least by him vocalizing that, that that's not you, has nothing to do with you. But I also feel like he could make more of an effort. Like, because you guys don't see each other all the time. The only form of connection you guys have is through through your phone. So maybe you could talk him into sending you some voice notes, um, voice notes, or like videos or something. Just, I don't know, something that's a little more engaging. If he truly is not using that as an excuse, then maybe he can think of other ways to engage with you. A really good app that we used at my last job that I worked was Boxer, and it was free to use, but it would delete your messages after a while. So if you'd have to pay to have the messages indefinitely, but it's a really easy app because it's almost like a walkie-talkie. So you just like send messages back and forth. It's really easy. I feel like iPhone or even Android, sending voice notes to each other isn't necessarily the most convenient thing to do, um, because it's not set up that way. It's set up to be good at texting. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on that. Yeah, so I have the Page of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. Um, so some things he's either been thinking or saying would be that he really likes your mind. He likes how you think. He feels that you are um curious, and there's a little bit of whimsy to your personality. He's thinking or communicating that he um, wants to kind of hold on to you and hold on to the connection. Like, he's not ready to kind of walk away from this. So I feel like he's saying that he wants to continue to see where this goes. Um, I think that he's thinking and communicating that he likes that he can talk to you about anything. Four of Pentacles talks about like deep seated past issues, and while it might be hard for him to open up because the Four of Pentacles is a very reserved energy, someone who kind of keeps things to themselves, he still feels like he can communicate these things to you. And that's really big for him. He feels like you're a lot better at communicating than he is. Hey, James, welcome in. He thinks that you're better at communicating than he is. He thinks you're better at articulating yourself. It's easier for you, I think, to get your point across and speak what's on your mind. At least he's perceiving you to be someone like that. So he might say to other people, like, she's really well spoken. She's really good at communicating. She's helped me open up a little bit more. And I feel like I can confide in her, and I feel like I can trust in her. She's extremely generous. The Six of Pentacles, like gifts, generosity. It's also talks about like charity and giving money and stuff like that. But like he's like, she offers so much support. She's so thoughtful. She's kind, and she will literally share anything with you. She's in like, I value that. I value that in her. And let's see. She provides a lot of comfort. Like I'm speaking this as if he's communicating this to other people. So again, these are things he's either thought or said out loud. She provides so much comfort. Like it's so easy to be around her. It's so easy to be near her in her company. Sometimes I feel like sometimes he's saying like I feel good because she's taken an interest in me, and she seems to really care about what I have to say and what's on my mind. Generally, Amy, I feel like he's just saying that, you know, like I don't know where this is going to go, but I like where it's heading, and I want to continue to see this through. She's a really good person. I just feel like he's just saying a lot of good things about you and thinking a lot of good things about you. You're welcome, Amy. Amy, yes, that's totally fine. Just let me know when you donate and I'll add you back into the list. Or I'll just go ahead and do that now to make it easy. Okay, SB said 3 minis. Got it, got it. Okay. Amy, I got it. Thank you. All right, what does Josh like about SB? SB, he feels like you're very grounded. Like you're the type of person who knows what you want. You kind of exude this like level of confidence about you that you're just like, I know where I'm heading. Like, I don't know. There's just this energy about you that's very commanding. Like you gain the attention of a lot of people, and it's like this is where I'm going. You're either on or you're off. Like jump aboard or get to moving. Like I feel like there's just this presence that you have, that's just very matter of fact. I wouldn't say necessarily intimidating, but I would say it could borderline intimidation, but it's mostly just confidence that you do know what you want, you know what you're looking for, you kind of just give off that energy. You're very grounded, very self-assured, um, very self-aware, and there's like a cheerfulness about you as well. It could be like your smile, like you could have like a really great smile or smiling eyes, um or like rosy cheeks, you know, like there's just something about your expression that feels very cheerful and joyful. It seems like you don't like a lot of drama, so I feel like there's this element of feeling like there's him saying like she's mature, she doesn't seem the type of person who's gonna like cause issues or be toxic or something along those lines. You just feel very stable. There's like multiple cards here indicating like stability and security. Ten of Cups and the Emperor. Lots of grounded energy. So this person, Josh, could also potentially be very in their head, like maybe like an overthinker. Their energy could be kind of all over the place, and they are drawn to you, or like you're just very like appealing to them because maybe you're kind of like an opposite in that regard. um you seem like the kind of person that can just bring anybody a little bit back down to earth. um let's see. I feel like he's looking at you as someone who's also um like intelligent, but like intelligent because of what you have fought for. It's like a balance between street smart and book smart. And I feel like he's looking at you as just a very responsible overall. Like he would say, she seems like the type of person, or she is the type of person, however well you know each other, she seems like the type of person that would just be like really financially smart, that's going to make wise decisions, that's going to do things the right way. Like, I guess just overall responsibility is a word that's coming through. Um, but it doesn't mean that you're not spontaneous. I want to be clear because I am picking up on some spontaneity. And I feel like, you might like to go out, go on adventures, do things randomly. Um, but overall, as far as like the type of person you are, you seem reliable. And I think that's something he would say. There is some wands here, so I want to also point out that he thinks, you're very beautiful, very attractive. Okay, so overall, the connection would go well, SB. I do feel like there's some things that you both will have to like work through um, together. So this looks like it's gonna lead potentially to a relationship, actually. Four of Wands indicates continuing to take things to the next level. So I feel like you guys could get there if that's what you choose to do. However, I feel like you have your own stuff and he has his own stuff. And the relationship, I feel, would be a little bit more challenging in the beginning. You guys are trying to like adjust to a new connection, a new relationship. Um, and I feel like there would be some things that need to be worked out. I would say, like, within the first year, there's some challenges. You guys are trying to kind of recalibrate yourselves in a relationship, but also adjust to the fact that this is someone new in your life. Um, Now, I feel like as the relationship goes on, like let's just say you guys are together for years, those things lessen as time goes on. So it's more complicated in the beginning. Now, I'm not saying you guys are like disagreeing or arguing all the time, but I am saying that some old stuff might come up and some triggers might happen, things like that. But overall, it does feel really good with this person. I have the Four of Wands, which indicates being a couple that's very happy together. Knight of Cups indicates continuing to date each other and see how things go, see how they naturally evolve. I also have the Ten of Cups, which indicates that you guys do eventually balance out. You guys do harmonize. Um, Things become easier once you guys work out those little kinks. And I feel like, the sky's the limit with this relationship with this person. I think it could go the distance potentially. That is cool. So then he's good with kids. So SB, it's kind of funny. I'm hearing like he's not gonna just let you get away with anything. I feel like this person is going to kind of put you in your place sometimes, which you are going to find extremely attractive, but also infuriating at the same time. Because I feel like he's not going to just let you walk all over him. So, not that that's the type of person you are, but like, I feel like it's going to be maybe difficult for him to say no to you. um like if you ask for something, ask for a favor, ask for help with something, I feel like he wants to say yeah, sure, yes, absolutely. I think he has a hard time and with like saying no to you. You kind of got yourself wrapped around his finger and he's kind of like just wants to give in. But I think that in areas where he feels very like strongly about something, he will stand his ground and he will speak up for himself when the time comes. And I think that it's both going to be a turn on for you, but I think it's also going to anger you because in that moment, you're not getting what you're wanting. But I think that when you have someone who challenges you in that way, it's a good thing because it makes you realize, like, hey, like sometimes I have to be the one to be like, okay, fine, this, you obviously feel like more strongly about this. I'm just gonna let you have it. Um, I think that's good. I think that it creates balance in a relationship. I definitely see if he's like, you're acting a fool, he's gonna tell you. Um, but I see here with like King of Pentacles that he really treats you well. Like I said, he has a hard time saying no to you, and he's like mature and he's successful, and he's a provider and a caretaker. And I think that this relationship, if you let it, could be something potentially life changing for you. Is he a parent? You said you look for certain things, especially if they're, oh, if they aren't parents. I see. If they aren't parents. Got you. What grade does he teach? Thank you, Silly Billy. I have you added to the list now. Oh, high school. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah. I feel like that means he's good with kids. I mean, you have to be, right? Like, if you're going to be around them, if you choose an entire career around them, you have to be someone who likes kids. So that's good. I'm excited for you, SB. I hope this goes well. I hope, something can kind of grow from this. Oh, that's sweet. Great smiles really melt, don't you? Like, something about a good smile. Man, they can get away with anything. You're welcome, SB. All right, so next up we have J Moon. J-Moon, if you're here, please check in. Let us know. It doesn't look like you posted your question under the donation, so Amy, that sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to James because I don't think J-Moon is here. It's been about 5 minutes and she hasn't checked in. So we'll come back to her. Okay, this is for James. I'm doing a love option 2 for James, and then hopefully he will stop in soon so we can finish the rest of his donation. Hey, Kels, you'll have to come back next time. Our list is about to close, and our free list is closed. We are finishing out these last couple of donations, and then I'll be signing off. Silly Billy, I got it under control. Don't worry. All right, so this is for James. James, sorry, that was supposed to say 59 minutes and 44 seconds, and I accidentally sent it a little too soon. So, if you don't join us before the live stream is over, you can just scroll back to like 59 minutes. So, first out, I have the Ace of Cups, the Strength, the Two of Wands, the Page of Swords, Seven of Wands, and Nine of Wands. Overall, this feels good. I would say that things feel a little bit lighter, brighter. I think things are shifting here for you a bit when it comes to this person. So she's, I guess what she's giving to the connection is the Ace of Cups. So I feel like she's coming around. Ace of Cups is always really good because it talks about someone feeling happier, more joyful, feeling. Now, again, this could be her being more on the emotional side. She could be a little bit more temperamental at this time. So keep in mind, there is a shadow and light side to every card. This could indicate that while she's feeling her emotions very deeply, and happiness would be great, I think it could also indicate that anything can set her off right now. So just keep that in mind. She's just feeling emotions very deeply. This might be like, I'm not diagnosing her, but it's kind of making me feel a little bit like a manic type of personality right now. Like she's like, her mood is she's on a high, but she can hit a low very quickly. But overall, as far as what she's giving to this connection, is feeling more hopeful, feeling more joyful. This could also indicate that she's becoming emotionally attached to you as well. I feel like she's feeling more confident, a little bit more maybe herself at this time. I have the Strength card, so she's feeling a bit more brave, a bit more fearless, a bit more maybe compassionate as well. So I feel like this is definitely a good energy. It doesn't feel stable. I want to be clear. It does feel like, this might just be a mood that she's in at the moment. But regardless, it is a good mood. It is a good place to be in on a mental level. And then I also feel like she might be feeling more sexually charged right at this time. Like I'm kind of getting like a heightened libido. We also have the Two of Wands as far as her feelings. So she's thinking more positively about what's to come. I think when it comes to you, she is, again, emotionally attached, but I think she's maybe trying to figure out what her next move is, what her next play is here. So she hasn't quite decided what the next thing is going to be. I think so. As I do this reading, I'm actually curious now if she's communicating with you. But you can tell me later. As far as her intentions, I have the Page of Swords. So this talks about things being a little bit delayed, possibly, or things not coming through as quickly as you would want. So, what her plans are, whatever she decides to do, is feeling more on the slow side. Like she might intend to text you, but maybe she waits until that night to do it instead of right when she's thinking about it. It seems like she's thinking deeply into everything that she's doing, taking maybe extra precaution overall. Hey, James, thank you for joining us. I started this reading about 5 minutes ago, so feel free to scroll back if you'd like. And I have your next question. Are there any outside influences or blocks? Not really, but I still think that she's in a defensive place at this time. So, like earlier, when I was talking about how her mood seems to be better and she seems to be happier, but she's feeling things very deeply. And so she's kind of temperamental. That's kind of like this card where it's talking about how she could take a lot of stuff very personally at this time. So she's a little bit defensive, but outside of that, I don't feel like there's any outside influences or blocks. Um, Same with the overall energy. She's she's been in this very like cautious, overprotective energy, where she's kind of thinking through everything very meticulously. But there is this essence around her with the strength card that despite her being cautious, despite her being guarded, she's feeling a little spontaneous, a little impulsive, um, a little bit more brave. So I feel like right now, again, just to reiterate, it doesn't feel like a stable mood. I think if you were to talk to her or hang out with her, she could be giving you a lot of mixed signals in this environment that she's in her mental headspace. Um, I think that she could be pushing you away and pulling you towards her, like, and just be very confusing. So take that with what you will. I'm going to move on to your next question. J Moon, I did call on you earlier and you weren't here. So I had to put you back into rotation. So long as you stick around, you will be next. Okay? And feel free to drop your question in the chat if you like. So James, with this question, I am getting it's it's like a yes, go for it, shoot your shot, but don't hold your breath is kind of like the message here. I feel like depending on the mood that she's in, she could potentially say yes and then regret that she said yes and then not show up. Um, or vice versa. She could say no now and regret that and want to come. So I think as long as you know in your head and that there's a potential that she could change her mind regardless, then I think it's definitely good to make that offer. So long as you're not like basing your whole expectation around what ends up happening. Because, like I said in the last reading, she's in a very temperamental place right now. Her mood is changing. She's giving mixed signals at the moment. It's not very stable. She doesn't really know what she wants or what she wants to do right now. So I don't think in overall is a bad idea to invite her to yoga. I think it's a great gesture, and I think either way she'll take kindly to it and appreciate the invite. But as far as like what ends up happening, I feel like her mood is just too up in the air at the moment for me to give you like a clear-cut answer either way. So I feel like the message is yes, sure, go for it, shoot your shot, but don't hold your breath if it doesn't work out. Just keep in mind and give her grace at this time that she's like changeable. You know, her energy is just very all over the place. Um, I don't know. Again, do with that what you will, but I don't think it's a bad idea to ask her. I really don't. I don't think it's going to hurt things. Let's just put it that way. I don't think it's going to make it worse. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. It might even make things better potentially. So I don't think there's necessarily a negative side to asking her to come with you, as so long as you don't have any expectations going into this. Mm. So James, I feel like there's a huge potential, like majority potential that you will not see each other before the event in March. They are showing me that if you do, this isn't pre-planned. This is something random. For instance, you asking her to go to yoga at the last minute, um, that kind of randomness, like that kind of like not really thinking through, just asking, and or just like one evening you just reach out to her randomly, like, hey, do you want to grab dinner tonight? Like basically something with very short notice. I feel like then you could potentially see her before the thing in March, but I feel like it's something that happens very impulsively, very, very like last minute, short notice. But as far as like the energy that I'm getting right now, if you don't make a change and she doesn't make a change, it feels like that will be the first time you see each other is at that event. Um, uh, anything else? So again, maybe that's why in the last reading I got just like a go for it kind of thing, shoot your shot, because the ability to see her before the event in March is going to be through an action like this, asking her out kind of with not much time in advance notice. Um, but yeah, I feel like if she's not taking that action and you're not taking that action to do something spur of the moment, then the next time will be the event in March. Nothing feels like pre-planned. Like it doesn't feel like if you say to her, "Let's make plans in a week," I feel like that's going to fall through. I just keep picking up and tapping into like a very last minute type of situation that happens to increase your chances of seeing her before March. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, the energy is very changeable. Um, but that's like my best guess. That's what my intuition's telling me. Okay. J Moon. All right, J Moon, let's take a look here. What's going on? The energy around your workplace. Energy around the workplace. Okay. J Moon, I'm getting that neither option is necessarily the best for you. Um, but I think accepting the job offer, the new one, is probably going to set you up for success better than sticking around where you are now. Um, the energy around your workplace is the Eight of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. What does that mean? Eight of Wands is changeable, movement, things, lots of things happening at once, lots of things changing. And King of Pentacles is the exact opposite of that. It's stable. Um, it's secure. It's things aren't really ever going to change. And then in the center of the reading for the energy is Two of Pentacles, which means trying to balance out the two or things being kind of up in the air. And what this energy means to me, because you have two conflicting energies, like one means good things are happening, things are moving, things are changing, and then another means that things are staying the same and they're not. It does feel like the energy is just very up in the air at this place. It's unpredictable. It seems like maybe there could be a lot of changes that aren't for the better, and maybe you potentially won't have opportunity to grow or to change because they're kind of stuck in their ways. um it feels like this is just not a reliable energy regardless at this workplace. And I specifically asked, should you stay at your current job? And I have the Two of Swords, which is a stalemate, um, indicating difficult decisions or painful choices. This can also be a very stressful time for you, but it talks about the need to face your fears, the need to give yourself that confidence to decide either way. This card in general is a maybe, but I specifically asked, should you leave for the new job that you were offered? And I did get a yes. The energy of this yes is a Nine of Wands, something that has been ongoing for a while, maybe something that you've been deliberating on for a long time. Um, and this card is of resilience, and it says you're almost there. Like, you do have some fight left in you. There's a light at the end of this tunnel. Just keep going, just keep trying. Um, and so with these two cards, one for should you stay or one for should you leave, I am leaning more towards accepting the new job offer, because to me this indicates that you've been through a lot, but there are better times ahead. And that's the card that symbolizes for the new job that you're offering. Um, why you should go? Well, first of all, it is the card of the solar plexus, and the solar plexus means that it's what lights you up, it makes you excited. It could be potentially something that feels like it's your sole purpose. Um, something that gets you excited. I feel like this could kind of open you up in different ways. This could potentially be something really exciting for you, something um, better and or different. And maybe you've grown a bit stagnant in the place that you're at now potentially. And I just feel like this card symbolizes the opportunity to try something new or do something different that maybe your intuition's been telling you you've been needing to do. And it's also the card of the Sagittarius, which is the archer, the arrow. And arrows move forward, arrows spring forward. Maybe they don't necessarily know exactly where they're headed, but maybe they have a little bit of direction, but they're regardless moving forward. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I completely understand. Um, I think at this point you just kind of have to discern for yourself what is the better opportunity, what is important to you, number one, and which job offers that to you. Are you more interested in flexibility? Which job offers you that? Are you more interested in better pay? Or which job offers you that? Are they the same? Are you more interested in having like less micromanaging styles, like where you can kind of just be in charge of yourself and not have to worry about people constantly looking over your shoulder, which job offers you that. I think it's important for you to figure out what it is that you want, and if one of those jobs are going to get you there, or if one of those jobs offer that, then I think that's how you can make the best decision. But don't let just because you've been here for 6 weeks be the main deciding factor whether or not you stay or go. If something seems better and the only thing that's holding you back is because you haven't really given this place a chance, but your gut is telling you to leave, then you should follow that. J Moon, yes, you can. Yes, you can add to your donation. That's fine. Yeah, exactly. I feel conflicted because I feel like I haven't given them a chance. That makes sense. Does this new opportunity feel more like what you were looking for? Oh, sorry guys. Sorry for the confusion. Donations are not open. I forgot to turn off Nightbot, so he's going crazy. J Moon, once that donation comes through, just let me know. Okay, perfect. It just came through, so let me shuffle for you now. So I had a meeting with the employers today, and I want to know how they feel towards me and my work after the meeting. All right, let's take a look here. So overall, J Moon, I'm getting that they like you as an employee. They feel like you are relatively calm under pressure. I have the star here. So that indicates that they have a positive feeling towards you, and they feel like you have promise, and um like you've reached certain potential, like, I guess, milestones that they feel like they were hoping that you would. I don't really know how to word that, but they feel like you're doing well. Like you're hitting your expectations. And I feel like they still think that there are some things maybe for you to learn or some things for you to for them to maybe like be I don't know, like I feel like they still want to keep an eye on you, you know, like they still want to watch you, they still want to kind of see how things go, but so far so good is kind of what the message that I'm getting. Um Jazz, yes, I'm sorry. It is. Um Now you do have a couple cards here, like Eight of Swords, Four of Cups, and Five of Wands, which is indicating to me that they, while they appreciate you, and while they feel like so far so good and you've hit those marks, I do feel like this isn't necessarily a good energy to have towards someone that they value. That I guess that's the question that I have is do they value you? Eight of Swords is restricted. Um it's kind of like where they look at you as just like a number. And the Four of Cups is like where they don't see how good you are, right? Like when you're right in front of them, they don't see how good of an employee that they do have. Um, and Five of Wands can indicate some kind of conflict. So to me, it's like it's not about how you're performing or where you're measuring up. To me, my question is are they valuing you? Because these cards indicate that aren't they aren't seeing what's right in front of them or seeing how good they have it by having you be a part of the team. um it's more like this is just another employee, and if this doesn't work out we can just replace her. Like that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. They like how you're performing, but you're here to serve a purpose that you are serving that purpose, but I don't think it has to do specifically with you as a person. I think it's more about just how you're performing. Jazz, I'm sorry, girl. You could always try to unsubscribe from my channel and resubscribe, and then turn on the notifications to the channel itself and see if maybe that resets things for you. I did have a Telegram for a while, but nobody signed up for it, and I was using it to notify you guys when I go live, but no one signed up for it, and it just seemed to kind of be like an extra time out of my day that no one was really benefiting from, so I stopped using it. Um, but yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, J Moon, you felt that way in the meeting, like you're replaceable. And I think it's a tough thing because you're not alone. I think a lot of people are feeling that way these days. So when you read, do you think they like my work at all? Yes, I do. Moon, I do think that they feel you are contributing to the workplace. I had the 9 of Cups, which means that you're giving them what they want. You're fulfilling their wishes. So I do feel like they like your work. I feel like they like you, your contributions, and all of that. So if that's what you're wanting to know, I am getting a yes. All right, so Silly Billy, if you're here, feel free to post your question in advance. You will be next after Amy. We are about to be done with our list though, guys. So with that being said, if you are waiting for your turn, please be present. And whenever I'm done with these readings, and if, for example, Silly Billy's not here, I will go ahead and. Oh, Silly Billy, thank you for being here. Okay, appreciate you. Now that I have your question, Silly Billy, whether you're here or not, I will still answer your question. So you can either be here for your turn or you can head out and come back to get your reading once the broadcast is over. It's completely up to you. Okay, so Amy is next. All right. Amy says, I just want channel messages from Eli as an updated him towards me. I just wonder what all those theories and ways. Okay, Amy. But I will say you might want to next time I go live, you might want to hold off on these kinds of questions because I do feel like the well is running dry. You know what I mean? I feel like I am running in circles, saying the same things over and over. So to add more value to your reading, you might want to hold off just a little bit so that I can tap into more information. So these specific types of questions, like what's he thinking? Because I don't want to keep telling you the same thing over and over. But regardless, I am going to see what I can. No, don't worry about it. I want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your readings. So that's all. Okay. Give me just a second here while I do that. All right, Amy, I'm back, and I gotta say it was not easy. But I do feel like I got some details that we haven't gotten before. Um, I feel like it was a short and sweet message, but I did what I could. Um, I wanted to stay true to the energy I'm getting, but I will say he is closed off. Um, I think that thoughts just aren't flowing as easily tonight as they do, and that's okay. All right, so let me figure out where I'm starting. Okay. He says, "You are so attractive to me when you are doing your own thing. I love when you're just enjoying your life. When you tell me you're hanging, oh my God, my voice. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wow, that's so annoying that that happened. That can indicate like throat chakra issues, PS. But let me start over. He says, "You are so attractive to me when you are doing your own thing. I love when you are just enjoying your life, like when you're telling me you're hanging out with friends, cooking, and just doing whatever makes you happy. There is something so irresistible about a person who is their own individual. I love it when you tell me about your plans and what you've been up to. I also love it when you're playful and having fun. I guess I just like seeing you enjoy yourself. I love your energy and lightheartedness too. Mostly when I think of you, I think about how much fun we have together just doing anything. I can't wait to give you the gift I got you. I'm excited to see if you like it. I know I keep my thoughts locked up. It's something I would like to change about myself, but I just feel it's who I am at this point, and I don't know if that it will ever change. But I want you to know I'm honest with you. What I tell you is true, and you can count on me for that. I also like your style. I like who you are, and every time we hang out, I feel more and more closer to you." Hey, Philomena, welcome in. I am, but I had you on the list all night, so I can redeem your reading after Silly Billy if you would like to stick around. You're welcome, Amy. Thanks for your patience. You're welcome. Yeah, I thought so too. Okay, so this is for Silly Billy. Amy, thank you again. Feel free to hang out with us if you want, but if you're heading out, I'll see you next time, I'm sure. Philomena, let me know if you would like to redeem your reading after Silly Billy. If not, we can try again another time. I will. Okay, have a good night. Philomena, that sounds good. I'll just keep adding you to our list until I see you, okay? All right. How will the new career in defense be once I join in? Will the new career in defense be once Billy joins in? Wow. Okay. So, Silly Billy, I'm getting here that this is going to be a great trajectory for you as far as coming into yourself and having some maybe sense of identity or um I don't know, it feels like community, it feels like um that you become a part of something bigger than yourself. I have the 4 of Wands, that's community. And then I also have this feeling that you're transitioning into something just really big. We also have the 5 of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords is next to it. So it makes me feel like while this isn't going to be easy necessarily, I think it's going to be a different kind of hard, if that makes sense. I think it's going to alleviate maybe some hardships that you've currently been experiencing, um, while maybe other things might be difficult for you. So I feel like you're kind of getting answered prayers or like relief for certain areas of your life, potentially like financially and things like that. Um, and maybe some things that you've been wanting to do. Maybe this helps get you there. This is like kind of a stepping stone. Yeah, exactly. Like a good sense of recognition. Like a big key thing here is like feeling that you have this newfound sense of like identity for yourself and you're kind of coming together with like a group of people or a thing that's bigger than you, if that makes sense. The 4 of Wands talks about how this is a good next step for you, a good step forward, and it indicates that you are going to really love it. It's Venus energy, which talks about like passion. So it could be something that really makes you feel passionate, or when you talk about it, you really feel like I don't know, it just feels very meaningful, potentially like even very fulfilling for you. And the Six of Swords here indicates that overall your life will be better for it or better off for it. There's a specific word that I'm just like hovering there and I'm trying to understand. I just feel like overall this is just a really good step forward for you. And you know, in the future looking back, you're gonna say this is where turning point. Thank you, Spirit. Turning point. That's what I was trying to say. That looking back, you're gonna look at this as like the point in time when a lot of things changed for you. So yeah, again, this is a turning point. That's what I was trying to say, um, for your life at this time. I'm glad to hear defense is a miracle I prayed for. I really did struggle finding an engineering job and keeping a job. It's been a hell of a ride. I'll be relocating. Wow, that's so cool. Well, congratulations on this new journey. What is your next question for me? Oh, sorry, I might have missed your question somehow. So I haven't told anyone yet, oops, that I got the offer, except for the few who needs to hear. Okay, makes sense. So, like, you kept it on a need to know basis. I will announce soon publicly. Okay, makes sense. You want to know how she will react when she hears the news. Okay, got you. Right, although she Jacinta, right. Tapping into Jacinta. Are you going overseas or like what is this? I don't know. I just closed my eyes and saw water for some reason. Um. All right. Once Jacinta hears about the news, cool. Okay, good. So water is typically associated with our emotions and things that we're tied to. Um, and it also talks about like the depth of our emotions because of how deep the ocean is and how there's a lot there that sometimes we don't see from the surface. And so this could indicate that Jacinta is going to likely have a lot of mixed feelings about this. And maybe this is going to affect her in ways that she's surprised by. Maybe she's not going to. She wouldn't think something like this would bother her because maybe she thought, oh well, she's moved on, or this isn't an option anymore. Um, but this is going to affect her in a way that maybe she feels isn't her place. So I do feel like this is going to be bringing up some emotions for her. All right, how is she going to react? How is she going to react? 5 of Cups, loss. The 5 of Cups is probably the saddest card in the deck. It talks about deep, deep pain. It's like right next to 3 of Swords, but 5 of Cups talks about a grief, almost like a 3 of Swords is like a painful heartbreak. You know, it's almost something that's new and fresh, but 5 of Cups is something that's deep and has been going on for a long time. Category like words would be loss, grief, despair, feeling abandoned, feeling guilt, feeling remorse, feeling regret. I feel like she's going to feel like this is unwelcome change. This is not necessarily something that she wants to hear, and she's focusing more on the negativity. There could be this feeling of emotional abandonment um, or energetic abandonment, thinking that you're going to go off and do this thing because something tells me it's moving away from her, not closer to her. Let me know if I'm wrong. Um, but I wonder if maybe she's thinking to herself, like, she thought that this was, maybe potentially she thought this was unfinished business, and now she's viewing it as more of a missed opportunity now. Um, Something feels disappointed. Not necessarily disappointed for you. I wanna be clear about that. I wanna be clear that I feel like there is happiness for you. Um, but I think there's a sadness that maybe she's not going to see you or she's not going to see you as often. Um, I think this is bittersweet for her, honestly. It feels complex, like the complexities of these feelings. Because I remember I was like seeing like mixed emotions, mixed signals. Is like she is happy for you. She's proud of you. Um, maybe she even sees that this is something that you really want, something that you really need to do and really want to do. And so she's clear on that. But the first card out is 5 of Cups. I can't really ignore that. That feels like there's just like this regretful feeling of maybe not saying what she needs to say or um I don't know, it feels negative. Um But again, like, the reading starts with 5 of Cups, and then it ends with 9 of Cups, and 9 of Cups talks about happiness and wish fulfillment and joy and cheer, and so I feel like maybe she's going to try to set aside how she's feeling or her emotions of how she's feeling and compartmentalize those because I think that she does wanna be happy for you. Future cat's outside. Yeah. He's booking it, though, he's on move. It is a logical thought. I would imagine how she would feel. How are you feeling? How are you do you feel like this is going to become like a block for your connection? I'm still grieving, but with the way she behaved, I'm having doubts whether she's the right person. Yeah, some of that grief might be me tapping into you, how you're feeling about it all as well. And now I seriously need to focus on my defense completely. Yes. I can't afford to think about my emotions since I'm going in for a very brutal training. You got 100%. Like, I can't even imagine. I'm sure that you have to turn it all off and you just have to be very tunnel vision and self-centered at this time. You can't worry too much about how things are going to affect other people because this is for you and you're putting yourself first and that's what you've got to do right now. It's just sad with the way things have ended between me and her. I'm just glad to at least get a job offer and have a really fresh start in my life. I think it's great. I mean, very rarely do I ever get the verbiage turning point in a reading. I mean, there's a card called Wheel of Fortune that can indicate a turning point in someone's life, but I basically that was like a claircognizant or clairaudient word that I retrieved from the ether while doing your message. And so to me, it just feels like it's very profound. It feels like a big moment for you. And I think that it's important that you allow yourself that time to kind of focus on yourself and no one else. And I think that's not selfish of you. That's not wrong. It's just, it is what it is in this time, in this place that you're at now. Clean slate is good. Absolutely. Well, Silly Billy, thank you for your readings tonight and spending time with me this evening. I hope you enjoyed your readings. I am going to go ahead and sign off for the night, though, because that is it for me. Good luck with everything. And anyone else who's still hanging out, I will see you guys next time.